heat and humidity, well, it's on. The heat is on both on track and off. And a good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, and thanks so much for joining us today. Hey, we're going to be visiting with Cocopah Speedway Street Stock Driver Dave Amos. Summer, a season of transition for the longtime Yuma race car driver, and we're going to be learning about that and more in just a few minutes. First, though, no let-up in sight on the summer break action. The Cocopah Speedway Racing Series regulars continue to find at a variety of out-of-town tracks and are racking up the big travel mileage right now. Yuma's Ty Rogers, driver of the number 8T IMCA Northern Sport Mod. Rogers on the road starting last week in Colorado before moving on to several races in Nebraska. First race up was Phillips County Raceway in Holyoke, Colorado, where mechanical and gearing issues forced Rogers out of his heat and ultimately resulted in the same in the feature. From there, it was on to Lexington, Nebraska, Dawson County Raceway for action last Sunday night, where a seventh in his heat placed Rogers in the outside row number 7 starting position for the feature, and from that 14th starting position, Rogers cleanly worked his way up to an 8th place finish. Also, though, sustaining some damage to the 8T at the end as another driver locked up his brakes just past the checkered flag and collected up a sizable portion of the field. Damage to Rogers' 8T mostly confined to the right rear, some frame and suspension work the results, and Rogers and his crew got the car back into shape over the course of the week. Were ready for action last night at McCook Speedway in McCook, Nebraska. Rogers starting 4th row inside of the IMCA Sport Modified feature there, driving on to finish 4th in that event last night. Next up, back to Lexington, Nebraska, and Dawson County Raceway again for action tomorrow night. Also in action last Saturday, Imperial's Lance Maury and the 19SB IMCA Modified, as we talked about last week here on Laptime Live. Maury making a stop-off at Canyon Speedway Park outside of Phoenix last Saturday on his way back to Imperial, the final piece of action on his return from the Dakota Classic Modified Series. Maury picked off a second-place finish in his Canyon heats and pole position for the feature, but an ill-handling car saw Maury give up ground, ultimately settling for a 12th place finish. Number 40 of Jason Knoll, by the way, one of Maury's MRT Racing team cars, took the win in that feature. And more race action coming up for a big bunch of Cocopah Speedway regulars tonight. Several teams making the tow over to Central Arizona Raceway near Casa Grande for racing tonight. Among them, the number 84 and the number 38 IMCA Northern Sport Mods of James Dupree and Timmy Reese, looking to compete in the X Mods at CAR, while Joey Essery in his number 90 and Rick Hibbert in his number 4 are planning runs tonight in the Pure Stocks. Again, that action set for tonight at Central Arizona Raceway near Casa Grande. Also in action tonight, the number 77D IMCA Modified of Cole Dick. He's making the tow from Ramona over to Paris Auto Speedway for racing there tonight. In recent weeks, we've made notes of a number of drivers prepping new cars for the season's second half here, and yet another car coming back together. Keith Tabor continues work on his number 28 IMCA Modified and showing good progress over the past week. And while it is season break at the track itself, there is continuing work all summer long out at Cocopah Speedway. The garage, the new pit store at Cocopah Speedway, near completion, and let me tell you, it is looking sweet. And grooming on the track itself continues. We had some great surfaces to race on during the season's first half. Well, gotta tell you, looking better than ever as the countdown to the season's second half continues. And of course, as the summer break continues at Cocopah Speedway, we'll continue to pass along news and notes on drivers from all 5 divisions that call Cocopah Speedway home. Well, up next here on Laptime Live, we visit with Cocopah Speedway Street Stock Driver Dave Amos. A little look back at the season's first half and what Dave foresees when racing kicks off again in September at Cocopah Speedway. Racing Radio, Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more in just a moment.
Hiking Fossil Creek?
Yeah, if you love the great outdoors, this is the spot.
I'll say. I'm Jim from APS. Have you heard of our refrigerator recycling program?
No, what's that?
It helps the environment by keeping your old fridge out of a landfill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. APS will even haul it away for free and give you a $30 rebate.
So I get money and help the environment.
It's definitely a win-win.
You've got options. Find them all at aps.com/options. Program funded by APS customers and approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission.
The Foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center's annual drive for school supplies is underway. The drive provides new backpacks and school supplies to underprivileged children in the Yuma area. Since it started in 2000, the drive for school supplies has supplied nearly 26,000 backpacks and raised over $216,000. Last year, an all-time high of 4,043 backpacks were distributed to schools in Yuma County. The foundation is asking for the community support in meeting a goal of 4,500 backpacks for the coming school year. Each filled backpack costs the drive for school supplies $13, and they will need to raise $60,000 this year to provide backpacks and school supplies to Yuma County students. Donations can be made online at yumaregional.org or at the Foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center, located at 399 West 32nd Street. In addition to monetary gifts, donations of school supplies can be made by dropping them off at the Foundation office. All donations are tax deductible. For information on donating to the Drive for School Supplies, contact Serena at 336-2445.
No matter what type of air conditioning or heating help you need, schedule some help from 1 Hour Air Conditioning. Ready for the season? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating can help. No AC at all? 1 Hour can help. Need help upgrading your old inefficient system? 1 Hour can help. Now's the time to schedule your annual air conditioning safety inspection for just $59. Call 1 Hour today at 783-4242. Some limitations and exclusions apply.
We're always on time.
It's time to laugh out loud. It's comedy night at Cocopah Casino. The Comedy Machine proudly presents from Star Search Comedy Trip Live and the Bob and Tom Show, headliner Brian McKim. You've seen her on NBC's Last Comic Standing. It's Tracy Skeen, and he's open for everyone. Look out, it's Ryan Buds. Tickets on sale now. 2 hilarious shows, $10 general admission, $15 VIP. Call 1-800-23-SLOTS or visit CocopahResort.com. July 20th, Comedy Night at Cocopah Casino. Live the rush.
Are you prepared to retire? Are you going to be retiring in the next 5 years? Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management will be hosting an educational seminar on how to prepare your retirement plan to be rollover ready. We will be explaining the 11 biggest blunders that people make when they retire. We will also provide you with a rollover ready checklist to make sure you're prepared. Please join us at the Yuma County Main Library on Tuesday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Call 928-329-1700 to reserve your spot today. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
When you want to stay informed, all you need to do is tune in to Outlaw Country. When breaking news happens in Yuma, the Outlaw Country News Department is on top of it. News Director Jennifer Blackwell is quick to provide news information and updates to keep the community informed over the airwaves and on Facebook and Twitter. When you want Yuma news you know you can count on, keep it right here. Outlaw Country is your home for the best classic country and Yuma news with Jennifer Blackwell.
Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. It's Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And joining us in studio now, longtime veteran of the Street Stock Wars here in Yuma, Dave Amos, driver of the number 6 Street Stock. And welcome to the show, Dave.
Oh, Mike, glad to be here.
Hey, you've got a guest with you, too. Want to do the introductions?
Yeah, this is Brendan. We've been longtime roommates and big supporter of the race car, and she does drive in the powder puff too.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that a little bit here in just a second. I was kind of prepping up for today and thinking back on things, and now math's not my strong suit. I can count laps pretty good out at Cocopah Speedway, but the math part I have a hard time with. You've been at this a long time, and I was trying to figure out just how far back.
I raced for 9 years at Yuma Speedway, then went to El Centro, actually for 9 years, and then I took a I think it was like a 9-year break, and just started back up again last year. So I did it for a long time.
Well, with a long involvement in racing here, and you mentioned there have been a couple of breaks here and there. What brought you back for this latest go-round?
Just started going back to the racetrack. Ended up getting involved with pushing sprint cars, and Brendan actually has a friend that had a S3 stock, Bob Bolts, that he raced it a few times. And so we talked to him and said he wanted to get rid of it, so he sold it to us and started doing it again.
A lot of work to get ready from that point, or were you pretty much race ready?
No, it was a lot of work. The car, his car actually come out of Phoenix, and then he raced it. Well, his kid raced it like 3 times, and Bob raced a couple of times, and he wrecked it. So it needed a lot of work, but it was actually fun doing it. I did it in the middle of summer, which was the hard part, and then of course, we got back out there. We had a few issues with it, and finally had a few good races, though.
Well, I was going to note, more than one person had remarked to me that, in terms of stepping back, you pretty well ran strong right from the start. Was there a readjustment period for you?
Actually, I don't think so. I actually feel that I'm more aggressive now than I used to be. So, it was actually pretty easy to drive. We did a lot of, adjustments on it and stuff, but it was fun. I really had a good time getting back out there.
Well, you racked up some strong finishes in the season's first half, but also saw a little bit of mechanical misfortune here and there, including going up in flames on more than one occasion. How big of a challenge was it getting through all of that?
That was a big challenge. Ended up losing a couple motors. Ended up losing a couple transmissions. The transmission problem was basically, running a 350 transmission in there, and they're not really made for racing, so you got a lot of heat buildup, and it's just, that didn't work out. So, ended up, I have some good sponsors, so I got, they took care of me on that, got me back out there, and then I just thought, you know what, I need to stop now, take this car and build it the way it needs to be for next half season.
I want to come back and touch on that a little more in just a moment, but first I want to know how you would rate your own performance over the first half.
Well, as far as hanging with them, I did okay. I don't know.
You can pipe up here too, Brennan. You are number one booster.
It was rough.
It was rough. A lot of hours involved, and then, of course, breaking a few things like that. It really starts taking you down. And I thought, God, you sure we really want to do this? But you got a lot of good people talking to you and helping you out. It brings you back up, and they help you with the car. And so, yeah, it was kind of a rough first half, no doubt.
Well, we'll hope for better things in the second half, and again, going to touch on that a little bit more here in just a couple of minutes. Brennan, you've got more than just a casual rooting interest here, because I'm going to make note of you're sitting second in the points in the Powder Puff series that's running this year at Cocopah Speedway, so you've actually been behind the wheel of Dave's machine with more Powder Puff action upcoming in the season's second half. Just how bad do you want it, that title?
The first race, I was just 100% gung-ho, and the second race, I don't know why, I was just a little more reserved, and I was a little hesitant about getting on the track. I don't know, the first race, I knew almost all of the girls on the track, and so it was confident. I knew them. We were friends or people that I had known for years and years. And the next time around, I didn't know everybody on the tracks. I didn't know how everyone was going to behave, and I think that was what held me back a little bit. Some of the other girls are saying they're going to come back for the next one, so maybe it'll be a little different. And I was even questioning not even running the last race, and then I saw the points, and of course Dave and his competitive nature and my competitive nature, he was like, you will be in that car, I don't care what you say. So I'll be there. I can't hold back now unless he breaks the car again. I don't make it out. But
I did not gonna. In a Powder Puff she's supposed to run, it did blow a motor up, so she didn't get to run the Powder Puff.
Wait, is there any pressure, in terms of, Dave is, running race after race after race at Cocopah, Brennan? Do you feel any pressure, not to hurt the car?
That's all that I talk about, and it drives him crazy because especially now that he's rebuilding, everything's going to be brand new, and I know he's going to race a few times before that next powder puff comes along, but I just told him, I said, I don't want to wreck it. I don't want it to be my fault. If he wrecks it, it's his fault. It's his problem, not mine. And, you know, even the last powder puff, he's like, I don't care if you hit the wall, I'm tearing it down anyways. And even still, I knew it was going to come apart, but I still didn't want to wreck it and tear it up. And no matter what he says, he's always pushing me and coaching me along the way.
The last powder puff was a lot more dicier than we've ever seen. These girls are stepping it up, and now they're trying to go faster, and we see what happened. They're spinning out now. They're taking fenders off, you know. So she didn't want to mess up the new car, and it's like, well, at the end of the season, don't worry about it. We can fix all that.
Hey, fair to say your advice to Brennan is basically summed up in 2 words: hammer down.
Hammer down. Yeah. The joke about checkers or records, and it's like, no, I'm kidding about the records part. Yeah, that's a joke. Remember that.
Hey, we're visiting with Dave Amos and with Brennan this morning here on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Parents, McDonald's wants to help your kids get ready for school with Backpack Saturday. Arizona and Imperial Valley McDonald's restaurants are giving away 28,000 backpacks. Stop by McDonald's on Saturday, July 27th, starting at 8 a.m. The first 100 school-aged children at each location will receive a free backpack. Offer excludes Walmart and mall McDonald's locations. Don't miss the state's largest backpack giveaway. McDonald's Backpack Saturday, July 27th, 8 a.m. Make sure you pick up a free backpack. Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country.
Perfect to the letter. You just can't do better.
Summer's here. Are you ready to spruce up that boat or watercraft? Sign-Pro can provide boat letters and custom graphics. Look your best on the lake or river and make a splash. Visit Sign-Pro for your free estimate.
You just can't do better. The Sign-Pro sign. America comes to Sign-Pro.
Hi, this is Joe Montaigne. Every time my Uncle Willie tells me about his service in Patton's Third Army in World War II, I'm reminded of what we owe the U.S. Army. 14 generations of American soldiers who have courageously defended our nation. Their stories represent the best of America and should never be forgotten. Join me to help build the National Museum of the United States Army, a long overdue tribute to all American soldiers. To learn more, visit ArmyHistory.org.
You can help the Army Historical Foundation honor the soldiers of yesterday and today. Go to ArmyHistory.org to learn how you can help build the National Museum of the U.S. Army. The museum will be the Army's national landmark, preserving the sacrifice of every man and woman who has worn the Army uniform since 1775. Visit ArmyHistory.org today and honor the Army service of every generation. This message is brought to you by Z93 and Outlaw Country.
Don't miss a single second of baseball action this season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tune in for the crack of the bat, every home run, and every out. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks on Outlaw Country AM 1400 all season long. Root for your home team. Just turn on your radio and we'll bring the game to you right here on Outlaw Country, where we're rattling with excitement.
Hi, I'm Emmett Smith. Sports has given me a lot to smile about over the years. But as an athlete and the father of young athletes, I know how important it is to protect yourself from injury. That's why I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to encourage athletes of all ages to play it safe when it comes to sports. I've seen firsthand how quickly an accident can happen when out on the field, the court, or even the dance floor. And because orthodontists are specialists in helping kids and young adults obtain a healthy, beautiful smile, the last thing they want to see is a patient get injured because they weren't properly equipped. No matter the sport, wearing protective gear like mouth guards, face masks, and helmets can reduce the risk of injury and keep you in the game. Athletic competition brings some of the greatest joys in life, but there's nothing more rewarding than a lifetime of healthy, beautiful smiles. For more information on how you can play it safe, visit braces.org.
Well, welcome back to Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And again, visiting this morning with Dave Amos, driver of the number 6 Street Stock. And Dave, just kind of picking up on some of the other things that you and Brennan and myself were talking about earlier. We've talked about challenges insofar as getting through the first half of the race season at Cocopah Speedway, and that led you into build of a brand new car. Can you kind of take us through the decision-making process and where you stand with the new machine?
Well, as far as taking the car down and rebuilding it, it's because the car needed a lot of stuff done to it. I kind of coming out the first half, figuring out what the car is capable of doing. So I decided to take a few races off in the summer and start fresh. Right now, it's down to a frame and a cage, and then we've done so much work to the car now. Probably another week, the car's going to start going back together. The front end's almost done. The rear end's ready to go back in the car, and then we start putting the seat and the pedals. In IMCA, you can do a lot more of the car as far as you're lightening the car, you're moving the firewalls back. You can do a little bit more of the suspension. The rear ends are pretty close to the same because you still got to run a lot of the stock stuff. With the front end, you can do a lot more geometry with them. And the car's going to be a lot lighter, so it's going to be a big challenge. I do have a really good friend that is helping me out on the chassis. Bought a program to help set up this car, so I'm really excited. Hopefully the summer don't take over, because it's hard to work 10-hour days and then try to work on the car for hours and hours after that. I do most of it a couple hours a night, and then try to get up on the weekends and get a lot done. So
I was going to ask you about balancing those times, because in your work career, you don't always know what your schedule is going to be exactly from day to day.
No, I don't know what my schedule is until the night before I go to bed. And then we get a lot of calls in the afternoon and evenings on what they need for the next day. So sometimes at 9 o'clock at night, I don't really have a clue what my schedule is. It's guaranteed 8 hours a day, and most of the time in the summer it's 10, 11-hour days. So it really takes a toll on you for the evenings. Luckily, that if I'm in the shop for a couple hours between calls, we work on the car during the day. Not a lot, but there, and Si doesn't care as long as our work's all done, and he doesn't mind working on the car, during the day. So that does help a lot, leaving it at the shop.
So going from here, you're currently sitting 11th in the standings. Again, noted the engine and transmission issues during the first half. Do you have a goal for the second half of the season, in terms of where you might like to get to in the points?
No, the goal of the second half is strictly working on this car and making it the best it can be for 2014. And then, because it's pretty much, we got 5 or 6 races this second half.
Yeah.
Points are pretty much out. Actually, it was kind of bad. We started off good. We ended up in first place with Stephen Daffron, and then things just kind of went to bad. And I really never had that bad of luck. But when you're piecing stuff together to keep going racing, it does not work out. And that's why we decided to tear the car down, start fresh, and go. So the second half is basically practice and set the car up, and then we'll have a little bit of time for the first race of 2014, and we're going to see what we can do then.
Probably not in the cards for this summer, possibly into the fall, though, or next year as well, as we look towards the end of 2013 and of course, the 2014 season. Seeing a lot of guys headed for some of the out-of-town tracks on summer break. That's something you'd like to get involved in?
I would love to. I'd like to have this car done for the summer, because I would definitely be going with some of these guys to CAR and stuff. But yeah, it's not. We're going to be pushing it to get it done for September 28th. It's going to be a last-minute thing to get it done. And the car will probably be done. It may not be painted, or paint and lettering and all that stuff. It doesn't matter, just as long as the car's done. So
mechanically sound is the big priority for you.
Big priority. No loose bolts and
no more fires.
But I've got a guy that helps me out a lot. He's a welder fabricator. He really helps me a lot on this car, so we're pretty confident it's going to be done right. Because I'm not a welder.
That's got. Well, I'll tell you what. The help from a variety of different people is crucial to any race car driver,
Yes.
and I'm sure you've got some folks you'd like to acknowledge.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Robert is one of the guys. He's one of our crane operators. So when he gets a chance, he's the one that's doing all the welding and fabrication. He is a certified welder, so that really makes it nice to know that the stuff is going to be done right. Because, like I said, I'm not a welder, and you can weld, but to make it look good, make it hold, and then of course. John Henry, Luke, he's one of my very best friends, huge sponsor on the car. He's the one that really steps up on the car. Brett Samala, him and Stan, they're doing all the drivetrain stuff, so they're really stepping up. Of course, Brennan, her and her sister helps doing lettering, and they help do a lot on the car too, so.
Good times and good fun and good people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Brennan, we're just about out of time here on this edition of Laptime Live, but I'm gonna give you the opportunity for last word. You have some advice for Dave as we look forward to the second half of the 2013 season?
I just want him to have fun and really enjoy it, because I know that he loves racing and it's all that he thinks about. And, I periodically from time to time will post a picture of him flipping through magazines, looking for the best of whatever he can do to the car. And I know that he stresses out about it sometimes, and he really shouldn't. And I 100% support him and his choices. And, I was actually the one that pushed him to get the car to begin with. And so if I didn't want him to do this, I wouldn't have made that choice for him, basically. And
that is true. This is her fault I got back into it. She said, you're interested in racing, I will work on it.
I made the deal on the car, and I took it for him, and and we love being out there, and it gives us something to do together, and so.
The nature of a true, good, wonderful partnership. It's a win-win for both of you.
Actually,
that's pretty obvious.
It's working out perfect for both of us. So.
Well, Dave and Brennan, I want to thank both of you very much for coming in and visiting with us today here on Laptime Live.
Thanks for having us, Mike. Appreciate
All right. Hey, thank you both. Dave Amos, driver of the number 6 Street Stock, getting set for action second half of the 2013 season at Cocopah Speedway. And again, we may remain on summer break, but there are other happenings ongoing around the complex of facilities that include Cocopah Casino and Cocopah Speedway. And here to tell us more about them, welcome Anna Corpus.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. Tonight, join Cocopah Casino for Laugh Out Loud comedy during Comedy Night with the world-famous Comedy Machine. Event will feature headliner Brian McKim and special guests Tracy Skeen and Ryan Buds. Now, there are 2 shows, one at 7:30 and the later show at 9:30. General admission tickets are $10, VIP $15. Call 1-800-23-SLOTS for more information, and you must be 21 years or older to attend. Also tonight at Wild River, sing the night away inside the Sports Bar and Lounge with Bling Bling Karaoke. That starts at 8 p.m. and again, you must be 21 years or older to enter. Now, if you're looking for some family fun, all ages can enjoy Cosmic Bowling every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Wild River from 6 until closing. At Cocopah Rio Colorado Golf Course and Grill, now through August, golf 9 holes with the cart and lunch, all for $15. Draft beer is only $1. Rio also has a men's and women's league. You can look on their Facebook page for more information. Rio is located in Somerton and open from dawn until 1 p.m. And that's what's going on this week at Cocopah Businesses.
Hey, thanks, Anna. Information on all of those items and, of course, more available at Cocopah.com. And, of course, all the scoop on the second half of the 2013 racing season available just as easily. Just stop in at www.CocopahSpeedway.com and make sure to like us on Facebook. Hey, if you'd like to hear what a particular driver or guest was talking about on one of our prior Laptime Live programs, those programs are now archived on the Cocopah Speedway website. Just go to the Multimedia tab, and you will find the link to take you into all of our prior shows. A lot of fun stuff for you to check out right there. Again, that's under the Multimedia tab on CocopahSpeedway.com. Hey, summer break may be on. The racing news, well, it never stops, and neither do we. We'll be back again next Saturday morning to bring it all to you as we build momentum for the second half of the 2013 racing season. You've been listening to Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m., here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400.